He's not going into your eye?
Meter class?
Facebook Live.
Come here.
Live stream from the sunlight. I should have gotten
Guys,
it.
come. Come there. Let's try to see.
You know, today is the best day to be a rehabilitator. Today we have to release 10 MUV sea turtles, and we are so proud to help animals like sea turtles recover. These 10 sea turtles swimming over 2,500 sea turtles that SeaWorld has already helped. Over the last 30 years, organizations have been working tirelessly to care for manatees in the wild through rescue and rehabilitation. However, today, manatees face significant challenges going forward.
Coral reefs having about 25% of all oceans biodiversity means that we're really trying to protect something that is going to protect us, but also protect the ocean.
Rescuing an entire ecosystem as opposed to an individual or certain species is really incredible for us to be able to do.
Orlando, Florida. No, that's the splash zone down there. We're not in the splash zone. You think you know a lot about the ocean? How much of Earth's surface does the ocean cover? 50%. No, 70%.
¿Cuánto altura?
70. Yeah. Which ocean region is the largest? I don't know. I'm gonna go with Pacific. That one I guess. The other one I was kind of positive. But how can you protect the ocean? Both. That's the one I'm 100% sure of. What?
Poncho. Enfrente. Después.
Humans have only 5% of the ocean. Girl. most extensive mountain range is found in Asia. I don't know. I would think so. Large continent. True. False. It's found in the ocean. The mid-ocean ridge is the world's largest mountain range and is nearly entirely underwater and wraps around Earth's surface for more than 64,370 kilometers. The deepest point of the ocean is called the Challenger Deep. False. Now I'm getting the whole
For those of you sitting in the first 15 rows, you are in the soak zone. There's a good chance that during our experience today, we'll be getting very, very wet. If you want to avoid being soaked in ice cold salt water, you might want to move to higher and drier.
Man, I'm holding two phones.
They're coming from adversity and challenge. They're coming from farmhouses and houses. They're people like you and me doing things to those who dedicate their lives to protecting others or saving lives, the company leadership programs who see their work.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jacob, and on behalf of all of us here at SeaWorld, we would like to take this moment to show our support for the men and women of the armed forces and our first responders. We proudly welcome you and your families, and at this time we ask that any past or present members of the United States military, any of our allies from around the world, and all first responders to please rise. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in honoring these men, women, and their families. Thank you for your service. Orca Encounter will begin in just a few minutes, but first we would like to share with you a short film about the Orchinus orca and its place in the world that we all share.
The ocean covers over 70% of the Earth's surface and is essential to all life, both in the sea and on land. There's one animal that is the perfect ambassador for the ocean, and that's the Orchinus orca, or killer whale. In just a few minutes, you'll meet SeaWorld's killer whales. First though, let's find out more about these remarkable animals. Orchinus orca, or the killer whale, is the most widely distributed mammal on Earth. They can be found throughout the ocean, all around the world, including in the Arctic, the Atlantic, the Southern, the Indian, and the Pacific Oceans. No other single marine species lives in as many different ocean habitats or is as directly reliant on as many different types of marine life as the killer whale. More than any other marine animal, Orchinus orca is the very embodiment of our shared global ocean. Until about 2 decades ago, scientists didn't know that there were actually several different varieties or ecotypes of killer whales. With effort and observation, however, we discovered that there are actually 10 distinct ecotypes, each differing in size, behavior, diet, lifestyle, and appearance. A striking characteristic of the orca is their black and white skin. This camouflage is called disruptive coloration. In a murky environment, this coloration can make them difficult to detect. Killer whales are counter-shaded. Their top surface is darker than their surface underneath. From below, looking up, they blend in with the light from above. From above, looking down, they're invisible against the darkness. Killer whales are warm-blooded and breathe air, just like we do. Killer whales are the largest members of the Delphinidae, or dolphin family. As you can see, they have impressive physical characteristics. Orcas have keen eyesight, both above and below the water. The dorsal fin of an adult male can be up to 6 feet in height. The powerful pectoral flippers and tail fluke can propel them through the water at a high rate of speed with great maneuverability. Their top speed is nearly 30 miles per hour. Killer whales use echolocation to hunt and to communicate. Communication is also accomplished through tail slaps, breaching, and vocalizations. You'll experience a variety of natural killer whale behaviors during orca encounter today. We ask our whales to replicate natural behaviors such as breaching, spy hopping, and tail slaps. While awe-inspiring and entertaining for our guests, these behaviors are also essential to maintaining the health and well-being of the killer whales in our area. Much remains to be understood regarding the Orcyanus orca. One thing we do know, however, is that across the globe, they face real challenges as the general health of the prey populations and habitats on which killer whales depend suffer due to changes in the environment. In just a few moments, you'll encounter SeaWorld's killer whales and learn even more about these fascinating animals. As the most widely distributed mammal on Earth, the killer whale is uniquely positioned to represent the beauty, power, and fragility of the ocean.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Emmanuel, and on behalf of the entire Killer Whale training team, I would like to welcome you to Orca Stadium. Being a part of SeaWorld's mission is more than just a job. We are proud of what we do. It is a privilege for us to care for, build relationships with, teach, and learn from these amazing animals. Now more than ever, we are honored to share our relationships with the whales and what we have learned with all of you. And now, SeaWorld proudly presents Orca Encounter!
Take pictures of the fort.
Our world has one interconnected ocean. A vast blue expanse critical to life on Earth. And there's no better animal to represent the ocean's beauty than the killer whale.
They live in every corner of the ocean, from the Arctic to the Atlantic, the Southern to the Indian, to the Pacific and beyond.
The killer whale story is the ocean story, and it's one we all share.
hear one word. United by our ocean.
Hey, how's everyone doing today? Awesome. Well, once again, my name is Emmanuel. I'm one of the trainers here at Orca Stadium. Now I'm going to give you guys a quick inside look at what is going on. Right now, things are not going quite as planned. And guess what? That's okay. Now here at SeaWorld, we train our animals utilizing something called positive reinforcement training. Now what exactly is that? That essentially means we draw a lot of attention to those behaviors that we find very desirable. And any behaviors that we don't find desirable, we just simply won't draw any attention to it. So right now you're seeing two of our male killer whales here in our front show pool area. We actually have one of our doorways open. So right now they do have access to two different habitats. And before the presentation, we asked them to come over if they wanted to participate. They both said yes, and immediately after that yes, they said, you know what, I think I'd rather just swim across the two different pools. And that is a-okay. Right now as trainers, we're just gonna not draw any attention to that and just let them be whales. Now killer whales are very social animals and they'll interact with one another. Now here at Orca Stadium, we actually have 5 killer whales. We have 3 females and, like I mentioned earlier, our 2 male killer whales. Now in the killer whale society, typically the females are going to be more dominant animals. So this is called a matriarchal society. The females are the ones that are in charge. That being said, the 2 male killer whales that we have out here are actually going to be the more subdominant animals in a killer whale society. So right now they decided to choose to interact with one another, and that is a-okay. This is all part of that positive reinforcement training I was talking to you guys about earlier. And it doesn't matter if it is a 6-pound otter or a 6,000-pound killer whale, we're going to use that exact same training method with all of our animals that we have here at SeaWorld. This does include our dolphins as well too, our seals and our sea lions. Now a little bit back about that training that I was talking to you guys about earlier, we utilize that positive reinforcement, which essentially means we draw a lot of attention to those things we really like. Now, in order for us to do that, we're going to utilize something called reinforcement. Now, what do you guys think killer whales find really reinforcing? Fish, yes. Now, of course, here at SeaWorld, we're going to give our whales their diet every single day, but fish is not the only thing that we're actually going to utilize to reinforce our whales. We utilize other things as well too, such as ice cubes, some water hoses, or even some one-on-one time with the trainer. Sometimes that might look like us just rubbing down or even massaging our whales too, their backs, pectoral flippers, or their tail flukes. Whatever the animal finds really reinforcing, we're going to utilize that to ensure that the animals can remember what specific behavior they were asked to do and then repeat it in the future. Now, that's something I talked about earlier right now with those ice cubes and those water hose plays. Now, this is something that is called a secondary reinforcer versus the fish, which is considered a primary reinforcer. Now, essentially what that means, primary reinforcer, essentially means that they didn't really have to learn to enjoy that specific thing. So if all of us here, we all probably have a favorite food. Well, that favorite food is an example of a primary reinforcer. No one really had to teach you to learn so that food becomes your favorite food, you just kind of already knew. But something, for example, like money, over time we learn that money seems really reinforcing to us. Well, those ice cubes, those toys, those water hose plays, those are examples of that secondary reinforcer I was talking to you guys about earlier. Now that is something that the whales eventually learn to really seem to enjoy over time. Now something else that I kind of talked to you a little bit about earlier is something that they seem to really enjoy, and that is killer whale sized toys. Now that's right folks, we do give our killer whales here toys for them to interact and play with, very similar to any animal you might have at home as well too. Maybe it's a dog or a cat, you give them things like a Pong toy or something else that they seem to really enjoy. We'll do the same thing with our killer whales as well too. We actually have a wide variety of different toys that they can interact and play with all throughout the day. Now on top of that, we can actually do multiple different things to ensure that these toys remain as reinforcing as possible. We actually might combine different toys together and maybe stick them together utilizing sugar-free and flavor-free gelatin. That's right, we do give our whales gelatin as well too. This is an example of that secondary reinforcer I was talking to you guys about earlier. Now this gelatin is animal safe, so the whales seem to really enjoy it as a lot too. So like I mentioned earlier, we can actually put different toys together and then the whales have to work together to take those toys apart and then get to the gelatin that's in the center of that toy. Now let's say we have an update from one of our trainers right over here, so if you guys give me 1 second, I'll be right back with you all. Alright, so right now what we're going to do is we're actually going to remove ourselves as trainers away and kind of give the whales the time that they need. Now, kind of like I talked about earlier, we're just simply not going to draw any attention to the undesired behavior. So by doing that, in the meantime, we're actually going to let you all get an inside look at our rescue program here at SeaWorld. Now, we've been very lucky enough to, over the last 60 years, rescue over 41,000 animals. And that is all thanks to you, and we're really excited to show you guys our sea rescue video to give you all an inside look at how exactly we do that.
We got settled in until like 3:30. We rested for an hour, and then we headed down here. Tomorrow we're going to Universal, I think.
Seal and others all out in the sun. But in this gang of moms and pups, we're local spot this little guy all alone. So they call SeaWorld for help.
We definitely want to make sure this is an orphan pup before we rescue it.
Rescuers know seal moms will safely leave their pups on land for short periods of time to find food. So the SeaWorld team observes this pup for 24 hours before making a decision. When mom doesn't return, rescuers jump into action, taking this helpless pup to SeaWorld for treatment. Vets discover his umbilical cord is still attached, meaning he's only a few days old. There's no way he can survive another day on his own. Just like newborn humans, this baby seal needs frequent movement to survive, so they try feeding him using a baby bottle. But this little guy doesn't want to drink it, and that's a serious problem.
With any young animal, the biggest problem with not nursing for 24 hours is that pup's going to become dehydrated.
The SeaWorld team faces a life or death decision. They have no choice but to gently feed him with tube. These feedings are essential for the tiny orphan's survival, and they'll have to happen every 3 hours. So the team tries again to get this baby to take the bottle.
We have a lot of different ways that we'll try to get these animals to nurse from a bottle.
At the pup's next feeding session, he's still not getting the message. But the third time proves to be a charm. He finally takes the bottle. Pretty soon, he seeks it out on his own.
He was suckling from the bottle efficiently, getting all the nutrition he needed.
Rescuers hardly have time to celebrate this success. The very next day, they pick up another orphan newborn harbor seal. And a few days later brings a third pup. The two new baby orphans have the same problem as the first. They don't want food that isn't from mom.
These two pups did not have a great suckle response.
In the wild, pups like these need to continuously nurse for 6 weeks. If they don't eat regularly, they'll die.
It was decided by our veterinarian team that it was important to get these animals some nutrition, and we decided to feed them.
The team works round the clock to feed these hungry mouths day and night.
Any young animal that requires round-the-clock nutrition is an extremely intensive rehabilitation phase.
The formula keeps them nourished and growing, and after several weeks, it's time for the team to transition them to solid foods. And the real test comes when the pups are 6 weeks old. Now, they're gonna have to catch the fish themselves, because in the wild, their lives will depend on it.
All of a sudden, all 3 of our Harmsel pups were looking for fish.
It's a big moment for the tiny pups. The first starving baby that arrived has doubled his weight and is able to catch fish on his own, so the team can see he is ready to go back to the ocean.
The Harvester pup that we rescued first showed us it was time. He was ready to return to the wild.
At first, this little guy doesn't quite know what to make of this unfamiliar world.
Some just rushed right out, but this little Harvester pup, he took his time.
But soon, the young harbor seal figures it out. Two weeks later, the 2 remaining harbor seals are also ready to make the journey home.
Hello, guys.
The team returns the pups to a rookery where lots of seals live and where there is plenty for them to eat. The 3 orphans had a rough start, but thanks to their stand-in moms at SeaWorld, they can now make it on their own.
The way they interacted with each other was textbook harbor seal, and hopefully we'll see them someday down at that rookery with pups of their own.
And sea lion relies on its keen senses to hunt for food and avoid predators, so food eyesight is essential to the animal's survival. When one young sea lion stranded in Southern California, rescuers quickly discover there's something wrong with its eye, and they know they have to get him medical attention he needs fast. Tourists in La Jolla, California spot a sea lion stuck in a cave and clearly in distress. They call in the rescue team from SeaWorld.
We expected to see one California sea lion, and when we got closer to the crevice, we happened to see that there's actually 2. They were laying on top of each other. The first animal, when we pull him out, we notice he does have some trauma to his right eye.
The team acts quickly, carrying the bear up the steep steps from the beach to its rescue truck and straight to SeaWorld San Diego. Once there, the team carefully sedates the young sea lion to veterinarians to get a better look at that injured eye.
So the eye was infected, it had an ulcer, and it had a cataract so large that the animal had lost all vision in that right eye.
The best chance for a positive outcome is to actually remove the eye and remove the disease with it.
First, they put the patient to sleep with anesthesia. He needs to be completely still. This intricate surgery requires steady hands and great expertise.
It is a challenging surgery. It's a very delicate surgery.
After 1 hour, the operation is complete. Surgeons stitch up the incision.
The next thing we had to do is keep this animal dry and that surgical site clean for at least a week.
That's going to be a tough week for this recovering pup, because normally sea lions want to be in the water. But after a couple of days, his temporary confinement to dry land pays off.
All of a sudden, this animal that had been lethargic, not wanting to eat on his own, was up, walking around, moving, very active, and wanting to eat.
The SeaWorld team comes up with a fitting name for the little pup with a strong will to survive.
So he happened to be a one-eyed sea lion, and we know there's a lot of tough one-eyed pirates out there, so we called him our little pirate.
After just a week, Pirate Pup heals enough to go back into the water and just look at him compete for fish with the other recuperating sea lions in the recovery pool. 3 months after being rescued from a dark crevice, Pirate Pup is now strong, fattened up, and ready to be returned to the Pacific. He's carefully loaded onto a SeaWorld boat with several other rehabilitated sea lions, and they head out to a place where there is plenty to eat.
It was great to see them all go back out and get that second chance at life.
La chancla. The chancla.
All right, everybody, thank you all so much for your patience. Now, as of right now, we did give the whales a little bit of time to go ahead and be social and figure out the things that they needed to figure out. So right now what is going to happen is we're actually going to ask our male killer whale who is out here in this front habitat to go to one of our adjacent pools. And if you guys see this underwater doorway closed, we're going to go ahead and see if we can ask our other group of killer whales that we have here. Now, reminder, we do have 5 killer whales here. We have our 2 males and our 3 female killer whales. So once this doorway closes, we're going to go ahead and ask our female killer whales if they wish to participate in that portion of the next portion of the presentation as well, too. Now, killer whale behavior is something that is really interesting to be learned, and us as trainers, we get the privilege to be able to work with these animals every single day and learn from their behavior and also learn their different personalities. Now, every animal that we have here, each are going to have that different personality, just like you and I. Not each killer whale is going to be exactly the same. Some are going to be a little bit different than others, and that is A-okay. Now, right now, it looks like we try to ask Chua, our male killer whale, out here to one of our back habitats, and it looks like he decided not to. And you know what? That is A-okay. So we're going to go ahead and give them the time that they need. And now that being said, we are going to unfortunately go ahead and conclude this presentation of Orca Encounter. But we want to thank you all so much for your patience here at Orca Stadium, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your evening right here at SeaWorld. Goodbye, everyone.
That's the Alex. That's the Alex way.
Follow SeaWorld on Facebook and Instagram to keep track of our latest rescues. Find out more about the animals in our group.
And he said no.
Thanks again, everyone, and we hope you enjoy the rest of your day at SeaWorld.
The whale said, nope, not having it today. No fish, no show. I wonder how the 3 p.m. show went. Nope. Dijo, no. No hay pescado, no hay show.
We walked all that way for nothing.
I thought they were gonna jump up and spray you and stuff.
The other guy was ready.
That was the Alex whale.
No?
They didn't want to do nothing today.
They already messed up shit. Isn't that gonna close?
Yeah, 10 minutes. You want to walk through that shark thing before they close? Aquí a las 7, el otro hasta las 9. ¿Tú no quieres comer? ¿Y el de mi mamá que se ve? You wanted to come here last.
Hi.
You would have been disappointed.
Damn near last, it would have been different.
Yeah, okay. That was the Alex whale. Nope. Oh. hop on the back.
It's gonna drop.
Hmm?
Not what's wrong.
Good thing we came here first. That was disappointing. Imagine Mickey's on vacation this week. Mickey quit this week.
Sure?
Throw your water down there?
No, I'm not fun with that, bro. Probably got kid piss in it.
Huh?
Probably has kid piss.
That hurt.
Huh?
That hurt. I'll go rob the fruit.
That hurt.
I think that's fake, huh? Yeah, that's fake.
What do you mean that hurt? You weren't even there.
The little girl fell.
You couldn't even feel it.
Try hitting your knee on that. Watch.
Yeah, but you couldn't even feel it.
What do you mean?
You couldn't feel the knee hit.
You got like 5 minutes. Walk through the shark thing. Come on. Huh?
Go.
Stop. That hurts.
Mako.
Kiliki laka laka. We should have just went on a ride.
You didn't want to.
Bathroom?
Can you take my water?
They're coming. how they got Wi-Fi available. Should have just wanted that. The Shark King shop. Look, a seahorse. Look, a lobster roll's only $13.
Huh?
The lobster roll is only $13.
The lobster roll?
Yeah.
I want a refill
Hmm?
on my water.
Where's your bottle?
My house.
Where's the water fountain? Right there?
Yeah.
Nothing.
It's just frozen collection.
Watch it. Stop, that's her.
How do you know it hurts if I don't do it? Wait,
You're doing it to
It
me.
won't hurt if I keep doing it. You'll get
Yes,
used
it
to
will.
No, you'll get used to it if I keep doing it.
Oh, I don't own rights to the music. I'll erase it later. Hey, look, a helicopter. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey.
Eat more candy.
Light trying to go in my ear. Hey, hey.
How do you want me to show you off? Right here, yeah.
Thanks for visiting with us today. SeaWorld is now closed. Please gather your belongings and head towards the park, where shops are still open for your convenience.
And I got to see the dolphins. A little bit of the orca.
I feel fighting.
Yeah. We ain't working for these people. Watch it, watch it.
Safety and goodness.
Look, those are more of a show than the whales.
We left at the same time and she's not here.
coming.
Should we do Disney then? Then Universal? Then Disney.
I think Universal.
You think Universal?
That way you enjoy it.
Huh?
That way you enjoy it. Or if you like it.
What do you mean?
Because you can probably do both the Universal parks in one day.
Both of the what?
You can go back and forth. Both of the Universal parks in one day.
Both in the what? And the Universal?
Yes, you can do both if you really want it. If you don't get tired.
This is where the dog show was the water.
Huh?
This
Yeah.
is where the dog show.
Yeah, we don't get free refills.
Well, why don't you say I want to do this one now?
You have to get the $25 small cup to get a refill.
$25. It was cheaper at Disney. SeaWorld was charging $7 for water.
Yeah. I didn't even see a photographer.
I was hoping you came back too.
SeaWorld closed at 7 p.m. What's today? Monday? Monday.
On Sunday?
Today's Monday.
Yeah, but one on Sunday.
I don't know. We're only here till Saturday?
Saturday's our last day of fun.
Yeah, because then Sunday we go back. Sunday we go back.
What if we don't go on the flight?
You have to pay extra the flight or buy a whole new flight.
Stay at the hotel?
No. We're only, then you gotta pay extra for the days at the hotel. That way. Salida.
Where, here?
Yeah.
Why didn't you activate the car the day before?
I did. That's your mother. I activated it. Yeah, imagine you go to Disney now. You think you would have gotten on 2 rides? It wasn't worth it to go to Universal or Disney today.
Bro, what? We would have fast pass, so it would have been.
Yeah, but it's better if you enjoyed the whole day.
Why?
Because
But
then
it's
you
harder in the
actually
morning, nah?
Yeah. You gotta stick some water in.
Yeah, but you don't buy water.
I bought you water, you fancy.
No, go to Walmart and buy some big pack of water.
Walmart or Walgreens or something. And they got the little refrigerator at the resort. Yeah, they didn't even check your mother's bag, huh? Here?
I don't even know.
Where you going? So we'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow we are going to Universal. You got
What if
the
Grandma wants to go to Universal?
and you can go there and tell her what's there, and then you can tell her to go. See what she says.
Yo!
At the rental from National, I think is the company. They had National, Enterprise, and one more. I forget what the name of the other
Where's
one
the
was.
car?
Watch it, watch it. It's right here, come on. Come on, come on. Got the Chrysler. The Chrysler Pacifica. Rental straight out of the airport. See you later, SeaWorld. You're disappointed. Look, they're lost. The wife and the kids are lost. Alec, look, they're lost. Look, they're lost. They're lost. They can't find it. They're looking for the blue car. She's calling me. She's lost. Guys, see you later.